Hello. Um, yeah. So your boy is here. I am trying to stick to what I promised you guys yesterday. Getting some more regular content out there. But anyway, um, yeah, let's get into it. Um, I think we're gonna stick to the team that I was playing with last night. Previous video. I just wanna see if I can get some good games with Glastrier just to show you how this Glastrier plays a little bit. I'm actually quite proud of it. But yeah, if you enjoy this at any point in time, leave a like, subscribe, all those things that YouTube tells you that you should be doing. And yeah, let's get into this. So, okay, Mousehold Annihilate. That's always fun. This is quite clearly a Reg C team. But somebody's just decided, you know what, YOLO. And I respect that. I really respect that. Yeah, good luck, have fun. Um, I really don't see a problem leading those two with. No, we don't bring Taurus. That's fun. I think we bring Glastrier Amoongus in the back. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, cool. Happy with that. Um, yeah. So I'm trying something a little different here, guys. I don't know if you've noticed. Um, we are rocking full screen instead of the previous setup that I had. Um, Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if it's better, worse, preferred the old setup, um, prefer the new setup. Let me know. Um, Honestly, I think it's probably going to be better in terms of viewing experience. I was watching one of my videos back, and it's just a little awkward. Everything's quite small. So yeah. Um. Okay. I am very tempted. Just double this annihilate and get it out of here. I know in the last, I mean, annihilate mousehold. I know in the last, um, in the last episode, I said that I wouldn't share the team details, but I've since changed my mind. So what I'm going to do is at the end of these matches, I think I am going to run through a detailed breakdown of the team after. I've got it on Showdown, so I will show you guys. Okay. Interesting. I just want this mousehold gone. If I can get rid of this mousehold. Oh, hello. Sorry, my dog is come to say hi. It's a little cold where I am. So I think he's feeling a little cold. Hello, bun. We live this rage, but I'm not stressed about that. Cool. Alrighty. So what was I saying? Oh yes. What I think I'm gonna do is I'll run through interesting. Is that justified? I think it is. That's something you don't see every day. I think we get a tailwind here. But what I was saying, until I keep getting distracted, is that what I think I am going to do is run through the team a little bit at the end, show you guys what the threads are and things like that. And yeah, let me know your thoughts of this slightly different way of doing it. Cool. This is interesting. I might just get swept, guys. Yeah, we might just get swept. Flare Blitz, that definitely KOs. There's no ways we love that. Okay. Alrighty, this is a bit terrifying. I am not gonna lie to y'all. This is a little terrifying. Yeah. And the problem is I don't really know what to do about it, if I'm completely honest. Yeah, this team's a bit terrifying. E-Speed. Normal gym E-Speed. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to you. Drain Punch. Oh my word, why does that do so much? There's no way this KOs now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Among Us and Glastrier can pull this back. It's gonna be tough. We have to start clicking body press and rage power. Yeah, we're gonna have to go for this win condition. I'm not convinced by it though, because I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's safety goggles and eye lap. Okay, we just lost. Cool. Okay then. Cool. Good game, well played. Wow. Do we at least take down this thing? Okay, alright. We didn't get... Oh no, but we didn't get 4-0'd. We got 2-0'd. That Annihilate was a problem, y'all. That Annihilate was a problem. Okay. So that was wild. Yeah. That was wild. That was wild. That's not something that I was prepped for. But anyway. Okay, let's grab another one. Being as we got sweet. But okay. So yeah, as I was saying, so I'm changing the format a little bit with how this video is gonna be. So I'm interested to see how it does. If it does any better, does any worse. So yeah, let me know your guys' opinion. Okay, so this is strange for me because you've obviously got 2 Surge users here. So which one is slower? I think on a team like this, Indeedee will be slower. That is Psychic Seed or Grassy Seed Halucho, whichever. Which is a problem because I'm pretty sure that outspeeds my whole team. So we definitely need to bring Tailwind. And we bring Tauros for sure. I think we bring Heatran as a loss. I think we leave Glastrier at home. I love how I said that the whole point of having this extra video was to get more Glastrier screen time. And it did, like, wasn't really great in the first one, and in the second one, It's not even coming. But yeah, we're here. Okay. Okay. Alright. This I'm not too stressed about. So, the reason why I'm not too stressed about this is... That's booster energy. That's fine. So... How fast is that thing? Was it a speed tie? I don't know. All I know is that I am going to Moonblast this thing and purge. So I'm pretty sure we live, unless it's Terra Poison. Note to self, just think a little bit before you lock in. Terra Fire Heat Wave. That's what I'm predicting. Terra Fire Heat Wave. Watch, Terra Fire Heat Wave. Because I'm pretty sure Iron Jugulus gets Heat Wave. Oh, Snarl. Okay. That's fine, too. Okay. That's fine. We get some chip on the Jugulus. Not the end of the world. Okay. Cool. So. And, of course, my dog has to make... Bonnie really was in this. So, I really don't see a problem with this. I'm pretty sure the Rillaboom goes switches out though, because like it's not exactly a nice position they're in. But if it does stay in, it's no longer here. I think Roaring Moon is one of those mons that is always going to be semi-viable in the format. That's not a crit. It just does so much damage. Especially where you have Rillaboom running around all over the place. It's quite good against... So is it a speed tie? I think it's a speed tie. I think it's a speed... Wait. I love how I'm not sure. Oh, so it's Psychic Seed. It's not... Is there a problem? Wave crashing and acrobatics? Y'all see a problem with that? 'Cause I don't. Indeedy, that's fine. Because even if they acrobatics my Tauros is not the end of the world. Psychic Seed. Also. Rock Slide. We live that. Cool. Just don't flinch the Roaring Moon. Okay, great. That's gone. Bye. Bye. Roaring Moon is just... It does so much damage. I saw that one of the... sorry. I just got a message from one of my friends. So, one of the... VGC YouTubers I watch, Neil VGC. He did a video on how he thinks Roaring Moon is a bit of a sleeper pick. And I'm inclined to agree. He runs it very differently. And he has those off-the-wall sets that I think are pretty cool. Like, he was... I can't remember what mon he was speaking about, but there was a mon that was really off the wall. And I thought it was cool. But I can't even remember what mon it was. But he spoke about Dragon Dance booster energy Roaring Moon, which was really interesting. Different, very much different. So that's his opinion. I think that it can work because Neil wins tournaments left, right, and center. He obviously knows what he's talking about. I just don't know if I'm a good enough player to pilot something like that. Like Roaring Moon, I think the reason why Roaring Moon works for me is that it plays pretty much the same every single time. It plays a little bit like a little bit, not really much like it at all. But I play it a little bit like I would play a Tornadus in terms of it sort of tends to sit in the field, which is probably a weakness of mine because with all of the Intimidate running around, I should really have a mon that takes advantage of that. But often I've got something next to it that can take advantage of it. So lead off Flutter Mane or even Heat Track. Oh, we got quite a high ranked player. Is that Victor? Victor? Okay, well, good luck, Victor. I wish you the best. This is an interesting team. So that is Prankster Thunderous, not Defiant Thunderous, based on team composition. Placeholder, back in my head. It's a very interesting team. Lots of special attackers that hit really hard. I think that's Booster Energy Bundle. Booster Energy Bundle is a little bit of a problem for this team. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think we can do something like this. It's interesting because Booster Energy Bundle, I think, in the current format can be really interesting because Booster Energy Bundle does really, really well into Tornadus, Urshifu Rapid Strike. Especially if you run the Terra Water Terra Blast variant. I think that that's the best way to run Terra Water Iron Bundle in terms of running Iron Bundle with a water type move. I really don't think you can run Hydro Pump. Aha! Cool. Okay, so y'all ready for this? Because I don't know if y'all ready for this. So the optimal play here, I think. So optimal here, I think we Thunderbolt that. And Flash Cannon that. So I'm running a very interesting Heat Rancid. So as you can see, it's not super vanilla. I like running dual stab whenever I can. If I'm honest, I like to because yeah, just get more damage now. Because this Flash Cannon is going to do a lot. Like Earth Power would have KO'd there. Not gonna lie to you, but y'all didn't see. Am I losing my mind? Interesting. So that is quite my guess. That's a Head Smash Arcanine. Optimal here, I think it's this. So if he lands a Hydro Pump, great. But I don't want to Terra in front of, because it's Terra Grass. I don't want to Terra in front of the Iron Bundle and he predicts it. That's very nice. Because, yeah. I'm pretty sure this KOs. Yeah. And he doesn't take recoil. But we get rid of the iron button. Cool. Yeah. So speaking of going back to iron bundle, for me, Terra Water Iron Bundle with Terra Blast, pretty much the only way you're gonna be able to run Iron Bundle. With a water type move. Hydro Pump is great when it lands, but terrible when it doesn't. You lose a game. You can lose games by missing. So Inner Focus Dragonite, good to know. Good to know. Clear Amulet, Rockhead. Woo! Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so quite happy with that. Maybe. Okay. Double E speed? Aqua Jet? Okay. Is there a Stomping Tantrum coming out? Because I thought about Terra Grossing there. So some are running Terra there's a Stomping Tantrum. Okay, that's a KO. There's no ways I love that. Okay, cool. That's fine. Actually, is it fine? Oh no, I got Glastrier in the back. No, that's fine. I don't mind. Okay, so Glastrier can quite clearly take care of that. What is their final mon? Fluttermane. Okay, cool. So I'm so glad I didn't Terra there. Actually, yeah, how much this? Actually, wait. I think the optimal play is for us to do. Let's see. Do I get to show off? That Terra Normal. Oh, great! Fantastic! Terra Fairy, let's go! This is why I run Terra Poison on this. For this, and well, this is an added bonus. Main reason why is that Urshifu Rapid and Single Strike close combat after a Terra is like a 3-hit KO, 4-hit KO, based on my EV spread. Is that Dazzling Gleam? Aha! There we go. Because that is that Dragonite is just straight up not happy. Cool. Okay. Chilling Nay goes off. Fantastic. Okay. Now we play slow with Glastrier. We definitely do that. Just to break Focus Sash, if there is one. He has locked himself into Dazzling Gleam. So, decent damage, decent damage. I'm pretty sure this KOs. Because we're bulky, but we're not that bulky. I don't know if I can make it bulky enough, but yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, maybe the crit mattered. I don't know. This Glastrier has locked itself. I mean, not Glastrier. This Fluttermane has locked itself into Dazzling Gleam. So now is the moment of truth. Do we live this? I don't know. A Shadow Ball. Good game. Well played. Okay. I don't know why I assumed that the Fluttermane was choice locked, but yeah. Good game, well played. Okay. So thanks for watching the battles, guys. For those of you that are interested, I am now going to move over to the team builder to show you guys what the team actually looks like. For those of you that are interested, I'm going to do that now. For those of you that aren't, Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty. For those of you that are interested, thank you so much for hanging on. So, first of all, quick disclaimer: some of my sets and some of my spreads are, I wouldn't say stolen, but repurposed. And second of all, I'm quite lazy when it comes to building. I tend to build a mon once and run with it. And you'll see that as sort of a theme a little bit. Um, and it's honestly because it's so difficult to re EV. And because I live in South Africa, we don't have a lot of in person events. And I'm also really busy, but as you guys have noticed. But when it comes to like re EVing and things like that, Scarlet and Violet is a lot more difficult than Sword and Shield was. I only started VGC really when when the DLC came out for Sword and Shield. So yeah, it was interesting for me because it was really easy to reset EVs and train EVs for that matter. And IV training in this game I think is easier because now you only have to get to level 50 um, for those types of things in terms of the bottle caps. And it's a scenario for me where the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have really tried to make the game more accessible. And that's super cool for the competitive scene. But some of the things I wish they can sort of better on. But I wait with hope. The DLC is coming out soon. So when the DLC comes out, I am sure, like they did with Sword and Shield, there will be something that makes the competitive aspect even easier. But anyway, enough blabbering. Let's get into the team. So let's start how the team sort of works. So first and foremost, how I like to make my teams is that it comes down to timer situations. So let me just fix that while I'm thinking about it. Um, Sorry about that. So for me, how I like to build my teams is in such a way I like to put the first four mons in such a way that if I run to timer, those four mons, if they get sent into the um, because that's how the timer works. If you run out of time and you don't lock in your mons in time, those first full mons will be what comes out. So I try and make that as cohesive for as possible. So as you can see, I often bring those first four. You guys have seen that in my videos. So that's what I try and do. And the theme sort of stems through um, the team itself. So I tend to run Protect in the first lot of my mons. That's something I picked up from Wolfie VGC. Because his argument is that if you run to timer, the game automatically chooses the first move in the slot. So it would be Protect, or in Fluttermane's case, Dazzle and Gleam. So for mons that run Protect, I really think Protect is a really good option. Some people argue that for like Amoongus, for example, Rage Powder is not bad. Um, I think that if you're not running Protect on Amoongus, Rage Powder in that first slot is really cool because worst case scenario, you're taking some form of pressure off the mon that's next to it. So, um, but if you're running Protect, sometimes locking in Protect when you've run out of time. Worst case scenario, you're going for a double Protect, and even then, the times where you get it off can be really beneficial. There've been a couple of times where I've gone to timer when I've been practicing and building, and that double Protect, if I get it off, often can win you a game. So something just to think about when in terms of optimizing your teams. But anyway, let's start with Roaring Moon. So first and foremost, Roaring Moon is a pretty standard Roaring Moon for like Regulation C. As I said to you, this was a set that I originally made back then, and I think it still has some usage, well, some reason to be used in the current format. because as you can see, I'm running two cores here. There's the Fire Water Grass core in Tauros, Heatran, and Amoonguss, and then there's the Dragon Fairy Steel core, which is Roaring Moon, Fluttermane, and Heatran. So those two cores are really nice because they sort of cover each other's weaknesses quite well. Um, Especially seeing as it's the Terra Flying on um sorry, the Terra Flying on Roaring Moon um, can sometimes help you get around some of the other weaknesses in the team. But we'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, I'm running Throat Chop because honestly think it's the best dog type move that Roaring Moon gets. And it gives you an opportunity to, if you are facing something like a Scream Tail or a Fluttermane or something that you know could be packing um, what's that song? What's that move that? Oh, it's gonna drive me mad. What's it? What's it? I'll find it for you now. Scream Tail. What's that move called? You guys are probably screaming at me while you're watching, or it's in the comments already. Um, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Um, it'll come to me. I'll see it. I'll see it, and it'll come to me. Um, Parasong. That's it. Um, so throat chop can be one way um, around that. Um, Obviously, because of the dynamics that works with. If you want more details on that, Wolf VGC has just done a very in-depth video on a team that he won. I think it was the regionals with, and it was a Parish Trap team. So, if you guys want to learn more about Parish Trap and Parish Song in general, really good video to go and look at. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but so that's one of the reasons that you run this particular dog type move, other than something like Jaw Lock, which has validity. Um, I really do think that on certain teams, Jaw Lock, just trapping that Mon in can be kind of nice, depending on what the Mon is. It's really good for positioning, but yeah, I'm not confident enough as a player to commit to Jaw Lock. And then Acrobatics with Booster Energy and Terra Flying, just massive damage. And then the EV spread, it's pretty standard. Rig C, um, Roaring Moon. But essentially, how it works is that for booster energy, when it's photosynthesis or quark drive, the speed stat gets a 1.5 times boost, and the other stats, so attack, defense, special attack, and special defense, if it's the highest stat, will get a 1.3 times boost, same as a life orb. Okay. And how it works is that the game prioritizes a 1.3 times boost as opposed to a 1.5 times boost. So if you have Fluttermane or a Roaring Moon with an offensive stat that is the same as your speed stat, and those both happen to be the highest, the offensive stat will be prioritized. Same thing goes for a defensive stat, if that's the way you're running it. So, for example, if you're running it on something like maybe an Iron Hands or something like that. Not that booster energy on Iron Hands is all that common, but you get the point. So, because of that, I prioritized um, the speed stat this way with as much attack as possible without meeting or going above that speed stat. Fun fact, this is also just enough. If you look at Regieleki hits uh, Timid is 277. And if you look at um, 288, if you do the calculation 1.5 times that, you are faster than um, um, Regieleki, which is also something nice to know. And then it's just standard protect tailwind stuff. Next, so this Fluttermane is actually not 100% accurate at the moment. I'm running something like this. But if there's one thing that I would do to optimize this team, I would do that for the Urshifu matchup. It helps a little bit. So The reason why I say that is that Terra, Terra Water, um, Urshifu does a lot of damage with Surging Strikes, or Aquajet for that matter. So Terra Water just helps with that on a defensive. And I'm not running um, Terra Fairy. So if you're not running Terra Fairy, I think a defensive Terra is your best option because Flutter Mane has such high damage output anyway that if you're not doubling down on the damage output, then you really wanting to be terroring for something defensive. And I think terroring in such a way to live Urshifu Rapid Strike is something that's um excuse me, very valid. Um um Terra Ghost does help you a little bit um with the with some other matchups, but yeah, something interesting to just think about. Um, so the spread here is actually repurposed from a booster energy spread that I originally had set up. So I originally set up a booster energy Flutter Mane to outspeed Regieleki. So that's that 287 speed. Because if I remember correctly, that 278 divided by 1.5 is 186 and some change. So when you hit that 287, I mean that 187 mark, if your booster energy goes up, you outspeed Regieleki in the sun. So originally that's sort of the way it was made. So again, going back to the Roaring Moon, same situation. Enough special attack EVs for us to hit that bump. Um, I mean, to hit as much damage as possible without going above that speed, and then dumping most of that remaining into defense. Because, fun fact, with Urshifu Rapid Strike running around, you want to prioritize the defense stat in particular rather than HP stat in general. Because if you dump a lot of um, your EVs into HP, because of how the crit mechanic works, is you're actually not optimizing how much damage you're taking um, from from crits. So with Urshifu Rapid Strike and even Single Strike running around, I think a lot of mons are going to prioritize, and a lot of players are going to prioritize EVing directly into a defense stat. For example, if you're calculating to live something in particular. So yeah, I think when I was making this, I was sort of prioritizing that as much as I could, and um, yeah, so that's sort of a brief overview of the Flutter Mane. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but that's that. Um, this is one of the mons that I'm really proud of in terms of, I think Water Tauros in the current meta is really interesting. You resist surging strikes, and because you resist surging strikes, they really want to hit you with um, something else, and something else is affected by Intimidate. So it really is a nice mon for me. It plays a little bit like AV Gyarados plays. Um, but I really like Tauros. I've always been a fan of Tauros, so if I can prioritize or make Tauros work on a team, I'm gonna do it. It's just yeah, that's just me, and I like using mons that are a little bit unconventional because it gives you I like to use specific mons, so and I like to use fun stuff. I was chatting to a friend of mine, and he was saying to me that VGC looks like at the moment different to Sword and Shield in terms of that you always use the best possible mon you can. And I said, yeah, Sword and Shield was a little bit the same, but I get what you're saying in terms of if you're going to use a water type at the moment, if you're not, you're using Urshifu Rapid Strike or um, Basculegion, for example, you're throwing. And I don't think that that's the case. I think there is some space for some other mons. I think, like, as I said in the video, like Terra Water, Terra Blast, Iron Bundle could be really interesting, depending on the team that you've got it set up on. Um, but yeah, so this is really, really bulky. This is made to try and live as much as possible. Um, and yeah, sort of just be extremely bulky and be around, play a little bit like Arcanine, but without the Will-O-Wisp potential. Instead of the Will-O-Wisp potential, you have Aquajet, which is like a less powerful E-Speed. Um, so it plays like a water variant of Hisuian Arcanine, I think, a little bit. Um, so yeah, and citrus just to maximize recovery. And this spread is so bulky. I'm sure you guys saw that. It lives things that it really shouldn't be living and has no business of living. But yeah, um, really fun mon to play around. The other mon that I'm like super happy with and super excited about is this Glastrier spread. As I said in the video, Terra Poison is there for. Oh, I forgot to speak about Taurus's Terra, but Terra Water is just to maximize damage. Yeah, like I didn't see a reason to run a defensive Terra on this. You could argue for something like Terra Grass just to get around Amoonguss a little bit, but yeah, for me, like Terra Water, increasing damage output, um, because this mon tends to come in and out, burst damage out, sort of suits its playstyle a little bit better, I think. Terra Poison here is to resist close combats from Urshifus running around, and also gives you a um, nice setup against Fluttermane. So fun fact, I originally started making this to hard counter Ursaluna because Glastrier is slower than Ursaluna, and it's an ice type. So you can do big damage to Ursaluna if it doesn't Terra. And yeah, and when I was making it, I noticed that Glastrier doesn't have a 100% accurate ice type move on the face of it. And you're probably sitting there thinking, but Karen, you do have an ice move there, and that's Avalanche. And I then decided, you know what? Let's lean into the Avalanche. So, Avalanche, as you know, it's 100 base. Well, no, not everybody knows Avalanche because it's not really the type of move that gets used often. But it's 60 base power that doubles if you've been hit. So, I leaned into that and tried to make it as bulky as possible. And then I thought, hey, last year it gets Iron Defense and Body Press. So, let's just make this Gudra but different. And it is Hisuian Gudra but different. So, um, it's leftovers, and that's why we're 176 here. It's to optimize leftovers recovery because it's 176 is divisible by 16, so you're optimizing the amount of leftovers you get each turn. And then um, dumped everything into defense that I could with a impish nature just to try and maximize bulk and damage output from iron defense body press stuff. And then originally I had a spread that looked like this. But fun fact, um, when you have a special defense stat, usually, or even a defense stat without Urshifu Rapid Strike running around, if you optimize a odd number um, actual like defense stat value, you tend to get more out of that stat than it would be a round number of the same equivalence, if that makes any sense. It's just how the damage calculator works. So then just a slight optimization of putting some investment into attack, because then at least, yeah, you sort of optimizing, you're not wasting any EVs. Then we move on to Heatran. As I said in the video, it's a semi-standard Heatran. So it's Terra Grass, but I'm running Flash Cannon over Earth Power. I think versus opposing Fluttermanes, it's really nice to pick up KOs outright. I know some people prefer to prioritize things, prioritize Earth Power over Flash Cannon. That's that's ultimately a player preference, but yeah. So this is pretty much a standard-ish Heatran. So as I said, running Earth Power, I mean Flash Cannon over Earth Power, and running Terra Grass over Terra Bug. I don't know what kind of medical that is. Everybody has their own opinion. I guess Terra Grass is not super good in Chi and Power Dragonite, so maybe that's why that's coming that way, because you still resist ground, but you're not weak to Chi and Power Dragonite to the same degree. I don't know. It's one of the things in the meta that's confusing me at the moment. But yeah, everybody has their own take and their own opinion. I've done enough speed to outspeed Dragapult and Tailwind, but this thing has operated in Trick Room a couple of times if people set it up. Because as you can see, the latter half of the team can operate under Trick Room quite nicely. Heatran doesn't mind it being too slow. Amoonguss is Amoonguss. Glastrier doesn't mind it being slow at all. And um, Tauros doesn't have much speed investment at all. So even Tauros can operate under Trick Room if you wanted to. It's only these two that are really super speedy. So yeah, that's Heatran. And last but not least, the glue that holds most teams together is Amoonguss. So if I'm honest with you, I made this Amoonguss spread so long ago that I actually cannot remember what it is actually calced to do. But Amoonguss is Amoonguss. It's here. It's standard Rocky Helmet Terra Water stuff. Um, Funny story about the IV for speed. Um, I managed to find this particular Amoonguss off a Terra raid with Terra Water, and it was 2 speed EVs. So it's not perfect, but it does give some really interesting interactions. So if you're outside a Trick Room and you're facing an Amoonguss, you know you will guarantee outspeed Speed and Amoonguss because you hit 132, they hit 133, I mean 131. And Ursaluna, you're still underspeeding Ursaluna. So yeah, it's one of the interesting interactions that happened there by accident a little bit. But yeah, that's the team. For those of you that hung around, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this aspect of Pokemon, the sort of team building and those situations. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you enjoyed this change of pace. It is a little bit of an extra effort for me, but I really enjoy it, so I'm happy to do it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What this change um, does for you and how you feel about it. And yeah, um, I hope to see you all in the next one. And yeah, until then, stay safe. Bye.